Welcome back to Plot in Minutes. Today we're diving into the 2011 superhero action comedy, The Green Hornet, a film that tried to bring a 1930s radio hero into the modern age with a twist of comedy and a whole lot of explosions. Directed by Michel Gondry and starring Seth Rogen, this movie takes the classic vigilante story and flips it on its head. We've got a lazy playboy who inherits a media empire, a genius sidekick who does all the real work, and one of the coolest crime-fighting cars ever put on screen, the Black Beauty. But here's the twist. What if the hero was actually kind of useless? And what if the real hero was constantly overshadowed and dismissed as just the sidekick? Stick around because this story gets wild. We're talking about fake villains who become real heroes, corrupt district attorneys, friendship fallouts, and a car equipped with more weapons than a military base. Let's jump in. Our story begins with Britt Reed, played by Seth Rogen, the 28-year-old son of Los Angeles' most powerful media magnate, James Reed. And when I say Britt is a disappointment, I mean it in every possible way. While his father runs the Daily Sentinel, one of LA's most respected newspapers, Britt spends his days partying, drinking, and basically achieving absolutely nothing. He's the definition of a trust fund baby who's never had to work for anything in his life. James Reed, played by Tom Wilkinson, is everything Britt isn't. He's respected, powerful, and actually cares about journalism and making a difference. The relationship between father and son, let's just say family dinners were probably pretty awkward. Then suddenly, everything changes. James Reed dies from what appears to be an allergic reaction to a bee sting. Just like that, Britt inherits his father's entire media empire. The newspaper, the mansion, the servants, everything. There's just one problem. Britt knows absolutely nothing about running a newspaper. He doesn't understand the business, doesn't know the employees, and frankly, he doesn't even seem to care much about journalism. In one of his first acts as the new boss, Britt does what any mature, responsible heir would do. He fires almost everyone. All his father's personal servants, gone. He's basically cleaning house without any real plan. But there's one person Britt remembers and decides to keep around. The guy who made his coffee. That's literally all Britt knows about him. He doesn't even know his name at first, just that this guy made really good coffee. This is Cato, played by Chou, and he's about to become the most important person in Britt's life. But Cato isn't just a coffee maker. He was James Reed's personal mechanic and inventor, and he's been secretly working on some incredible modifications to James's prized car collection. When Britt discovers Cato in the garage, working on these amazing vehicles, they find common ground. They both love cars, and more importantly, they both agree on one thing. James Reed was kind of a harsh, difficult man. Meanwhile, Britt also hires a new secretary named Lenore Case, played by Cameron Diaz. But Lenore isn't your typical secretary. She has a degree in criminology and actually understands crime patterns, criminal psychology, and how bad guys think. Britt hires her thinking she'll just be fetching coffee and scheduling meetings. He has no idea how important she's about to become to their entire operation. Now, let's talk about the villain side of things. Enter Benjamin Chudnovsky, played by the brilliant Christoph Waltz. He's LA's most powerful crime boss, the guy who controls all the organized crime in the city. Everyone pays tribute to him. A new club owner named Daniel Clean, who deals crystal meth from his nightclub, decided to open up shop without paying Chudnovsky his cut. Bad move. Chudnovsky blows up the entire club as a message to everyone else in LA. You don't operate in this city without paying him first. This sets up the criminal underworld that our heroes will eventually go up against. So one night, Britt and Cato are hanging out, probably drinking, and Britt gets this impulsive idea. Britt decides they should go vandalize his father's public memorial statue. I mean literally cutting the head off the statue. Britt covers his face with a green cloth mask. And here's where it gets interesting. While they're completing their petty vandalism, they witness an actual crime in progress. A couple is being robbed by armed thugs. He tries to intervene, but surprise, surprise, he's immediately overwhelmed. He's running for his life when Kato sees what's happening. And this is where we discover Kato's true abilities. Kato analyzes the situation in seconds and jumps into action. He's a martial arts master with incredible fighting skills. He takes down multiple armed men like it's nothing, using moves that would make Bruce Lee proud, which is actually a nice tribute since Bruce Lee played Kato in the original 1960s TV series. Britt watches in absolute amazement as his coffee-making mechanic friend turns into a one-man army. And Britt suddenly realizes they stumbled onto something big. Driving home, both men are buzzing with adrenaline. They've just done something meaningful for the first time in their lives. They actually helped people, actually made a difference. And they want to do it again. But here's where Britt's media background kicks in. He realizes that if they want to get close to criminals, to really infiltrate the crime world and take it down from the inside, they can't pose as heroes. They need to pose as criminals themselves. Kato loves this idea, and they start planning their double life. This is where Kato's genius really shines. Remember, he's not just a mechanic, he's an inventor. Based on a 1965 Chrysler Imperial, Kato transforms it into a mobile fortress. We're talking twin hood-mounted Browning machine guns, 8 Stinger missiles hidden in the front bumper, a flamethrower built into the grille, shotguns mounted in the light bezels, a R-15 modified door guns, rotating license plates, green-tinted headlights. It becomes just as much a character in this story as Britt and Kato themselves to spread their fame and get the word out to the criminal underworld. Britt starts leaving business cards at crime scenes with an email address to contact the Green Hornet. Now here's where Britt's media empire becomes crucial. He uses his own newspaper, the Daily Sentinel, to spread news about this new dangerous criminal called the Green Hornet. He's basically creating his own publicity, making himself look like a threat to the entire city. But there's a problem with this strategy. The district attorney, a guy named Scanlon, played by David Harbour, is running for re-election on a platform of cleaning up LA's streets. And Britt's newspaper, constantly talking about this new criminal threat, is making Scanlon look bad. As the Green Hornet and Kato hit the streets, they start dismantling Chodnovsky's crime empire piece by piece. They're taking down drug labs, breaking up street gangs, and generally causing chaos in the organized crime world. But here's the thing, Kato is doing all the actual work. He's the one with the fighting skills, he's the one driving the Black Beauty, he's the one using the weapons effectively. Britt? He's basically just along for the ride, taking credit and playing the role of the Green Hornet for the media. The press starts calling Kato the nameless thug, or the sidekick. He's completely overlooked, dismissed as just muscle, while Britt gets all the recognition as the criminal mastermind. Chodnovsky isn't stupid. He realizes someone is systematically taking apart his operation, and he decides to lure the Green Hornet out. He sends an email to their contact address, suggesting a new business venture, a meeting to discuss potential opportunities. Kato immediately sees this for what it is, a trap. He tells Britt they absolutely should not go. This is clearly Chodnovsky trying to eliminate them. But Britt, in his infinite wisdom and ego, decides to go anyway. Because he's the leader, right? He makes the decisions. As predicted, it's absolutely a trap. Chodnovsky captures them and buries the Black Beauty with them inside it. They're literally buried alive in their car, and it looks like this is the end. But remember all those weapons Kato built into the car? He detonates a missile to blast them out of their grave. They escape from the buried car and manage to get away from Chodnovsky, who's chasing them in a cement truck in a wild action sequence. They survived, but this close call should have been a wake-up call. Instead, things only get worse between them. The tensions that have been building finally explode. Both Britt and Kato are attracted to Lenore, and this becomes another point of conflict. Britt starts belittling Kato more and more, calling him the weaker sidekick, mocking his contributions, and basically being exactly like his father, dismissive, harsh, and ungrateful. For Kato, who's been doing all the real work while being treated like an assistant, this is the last straw. They get into a massive fight. It gets so intense that Kato falls into the pool. And here's a detail that makes it even more serious. Kato can't swim. Britt has to pull him out, but the damage is done. Britt fires Kato. Just like that, their partnership is over. But it doesn't stop there. Britt also fires Lenore because he suspects she's having an affair with Kato. Without Kato's support and skills, Britt starts to realize he's in over his head. Around this time, District Attorney Scanlon reaches out for a meeting. Scanlon makes his pitch clear. He wants control of the Daily Sentinel. In exchange for handing over the newspaper, he offers Britt compensation and protection. Britt, to his credit, refuses. He might be a lot of things, but he won't turn his father's newspaper into a tool for a corrupt politician. He kicks Scanlon out. But Lenore, who Britt eventually rehires when he starts piecing things together, argues that journalism is about hearing all sides. Even if Scanlon is corrupt, they should at least hear him out, understand what he's planning. Reluctantly, Britt agrees to meet with Scanlon at a restaurant to hear his full proposal. What Britt doesn't know is that there's an even bigger conspiracy at play. Chudnovsky sends an email to the Green Hornet's contact address, hiring the Green Hornet to kill Britt Reed. That's right. He's hiring the vigilante to kill the vigilante's alter ego. It's genius in its simplicity. Kato sees the email. Kato decides to go. He still cares about Britt, still feels responsible for keeping him alive. So now we have a situation where Britt is meeting Scanlon at a restaurant, thinking it's about the newspaper. Kato is heading to the same restaurant, believing he's been hired to kill Britt. Chudnovsky is also going to the restaurant. The plan is to eliminate both Britt Reed and the Green Hornet at the same time. At the restaurant, Scanlon starts revealing his true plans to Britt. He wants to control the media and become DA, not to fight crime, but to control it. He's been orchestrating everything from behind the scenes. Then, Scanlon drops the biggest bombshell of all. He was responsible for James Reed's death. That allergic reaction to a bee sting? It was murder. Scanlon had Britt's father killed because James Reed wouldn't play ball, wouldn't let Scanlon control how the Daily Sentinel reported on crime in LA. Britt has been recording this entire conversation on a USB drive. He shows it to Scanlon, thinking this is his trump card. At that moment, Kato arrives at the restaurant in his Green Hornet mask and meets with Chudnovsky. Then Kato walks into the dining area and points a gun directly at Britt's head. All the other customers flee in terror. This is it. The moment where the Green Hornet kills Britt Reed, or so it appears. But something different happens. Before Scanlon can react, both men turn against him. Then Chudnovsky's men burst in and all hell breaks loose. Britt and Kato fight their way out of the restaurant and run for the Black Beauty. But Chudnovsky has realized the truth. Britt Reed is the Green Hornet. Their carefully maintained secret identity is blown. Now Chudnovsky, Scanlon, and what seems like half the gangs in LA are chasing them through the streets. Multiple cars, all armed, all trying to take down the Black Beauty. The car takes an absolute beating, but Kato's engineering holds up. They're shooting, ramming, and fighting their way through the city, heading straight for the Daily Sentinel offices. Their plan? Upload Scanlon's recorded confession to the newspaper's website and expose everything to the public. The Black Beauty crashes into the Daily Sentinel building, and the chase continues inside. Imagine this: a massive armored car tearing through a newspaper office, destroying cubicles, smashing computers, with gangsters and eventually police following close behind. And basically, the entire building becomes a war zone. It's complete chaos. They finally reach Britt's office, and while Kato holds off Chudnovsky's men with his incredible fighting skills, Britt tries to upload the recording that will expose Scanlon. But then, disaster strikes. There's no recording. The USB drive is empty. All of this, and they have nothing to show for it. Britt looks up to see Chudnovsky holding Kato at gunpoint. For a moment, it looks like this is truly the end. But then, something amazing happens. In this moment, Britt finally applies everything Kato tried to teach him. He analyzes the situation, the positions of the enemies, the weapons available, the angles of attack, and he acts. He's not suddenly a martial arts master, but he manages to take out several mobsters and create enough chaos for Kato to blind Chudnovsky and turn the tide. Just when they think they've won, the police burst in. Scanlon is there, and he immediately identifies himself and orders the police to shoot the vigilantes. Britt and Kato realize they can't let Scanlon escape, but they also can't let their identities be exposed. So they do something absolutely insane. They crash what's left of the Black Beauty through the office window, taking Scanlon with them as they plummet from the building. Mid-fall, they use the ejector seats, which in a funny callback, Britt had jokingly suggested Kato install earlier in the movie, and Kato actually built them, to launch out of the car. But Britt's been shot. He's got a bullet wound, and they can't go to a hospital without raising questions. So, they head to Lenore's house. When Britt and Kato show up at Lenore's door in their Green Hornet gear, her first response is to beat them up and pepper spray them. Fair reaction, honestly. Once they reveal their identities, she's shocked, but quickly moves into action. She tries to remove the bullet from Britt's wound, but without proper medical equipment, it's risky and painful. Together, the three of them come up with one final plan. The next day, Britt Reed holds a major press conference. Surrounded by media from across the city, he makes an announcement. The criminal known as the Green Hornet attacked the Daily Sentinel offices in an assassination attempt. The Green Hornet successfully killed District Attorney Scanlon in the chaos. Mid-press conference, the Black Beauty suddenly crashes through the wall. A masked Kato announces that the Green Hornet sends the Reed family his regards and shoots Britt before speeding away. Britt is rushed to the hospital, conveniently providing a legitimate explanation for his bullet wound. Lenore goes with him, maintaining their cover story. Meanwhile, a police car chases the Black Beauty through the streets. This is where we see Kato's final innovation. The car's paint can change colors on command. As the police follow what they think is a black car, it suddenly turns white, causing the police to drive right past it. Once they're gone, it switches back to black. The Green Hornet has escaped, and Britt and Kato's secret identities remain intact. This movie was directed by Michel Gondry and released in January 2011. It's not a perfect movie. The tone sometimes struggles between comedy and action, and the plot has some holes. But it's an entertaining ride with heart, humor, and some genuinely impressive action sequences. What did you think of the Green Hornet? Did Kato deserve more recognition? Should there have been a sequel? Let me know in the comments below. If you enjoyed this breakdown, don't forget to like this video and subscribe to Plot in Minutes for more complete movie summaries. Hit that notification bell so you never miss an upload. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.